everybody. I'm welcoming my people on my Facebook Live as well. So we got a couple Facebook Lives going here and a Zoom call. And for those of you who guys are just joining, we're on day 2 of our Clean Food Challenge with Natural Zing and Pure Joy Planet. And we've teamed up because we have so much in common with the raw foods and the healthy eating, and we just want to share with both of our audiences how easy it is to go for 5 days a month on clean eating. And it's hard for a lot of people to kind of get their mind around, like, you know, I hear so many people say, and you probably hear this too, Helen, I eat healthy, but then when you look at their diet, they're still eating gluten. And, you know, I want to say something about gluten real quickly today, and that is that there is something in gluten, even if you say, oh, I'm not allergic to wheat or I'm not gluten intolerant, called bromide. And they replaced the iodine that they were adding to our flours years ago with bromide, and bromide is very toxic. And it can mess with your hormones, it can cause you to gain weight. There's so many problems with bromide. So, you know, eating a clean diet and getting off the grains, the gluten, you know, the dairy, all the things that clog us up and make us sick. So if you're getting sick and you say I eat healthy, then you need to re-examine what's in your diet that's not working for you, because it usually is about your intestines being clogged. So I'm going to start today with a really awesome, fun salad. This is called like the big fat salad, because this could be a meal. This could be your lunch. And when I first heard that, like eating salad for a meal, like that's crazy. That's like an appetizer. But I'm going to show you how you can make a really big, fat, delicious salad and have it be something that becomes a meal replacement. You can start having this for dinner. And I think dinner should be the lightest meal of the day. So this could be a great dinner, just eating salad before sundown, maybe 6 or 7 in the winter, maybe a little earlier even. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you just how to assemble a salad. And I thought I would include like how I cut my vegetables, because even that, like I have a culinary school and a lot of people don't even know really how to cut vegetables or what knives to use. So I'm just gonna go through that quickly. We're trying to keep this under 30 minutes, although I know we started late. But the first thing is to find your favorite lettuce. This one is a green leaf, and I've got about 4 cups of green leaf lettuce. I've got it in this big bowl because I want something big to mix it in, and then I can transfer it to my salad bowl when I'm ready. So we're gonna start with that, and then let's do a cucumber. Now that it's summer, coming up on summer, it's getting warmer. You don't wanna do a lot of cucumbers in the winter because they're very cooling, but summer and the warmer months is great. What I do with cucumbers is I stripe them, which means I do like every other strip to get some of that skin off. And the reason for that is, if you ever bitten into a cucumber and it's like all this skin and it's kind of hard to chew, especially for people that are new to eating raw foods. So when you stripe it, 1, it looks really pretty, and 2, it's easier to chew. And what you can do a number of things with this. I'm only gonna use about 1/4 of a cucumber. You can slice it in half first and then just do nice thin slices. And that'll look really pretty in your salad. And with my big salads, I kind of want to know what I'm eating, so I don't want to chop everything super tiny. I want to put it so that I can feel like, oh, that's a cucumber when I bite into it. The next thing we're going to do is some sugar snap peas. I've got a handful of them. They're coming into season now, which is so fun to see them in the store, and they're so fresh and vibrant. And I've already cut the ends off and washed them, and I'm just going to cut them into like thirds. And again, that's just so their chunks are still big enough, but they're small enough that I can kind of get the perfect bite too. You don't want these big fat pieces either. Radish, I want to show you guys how I store my stuff. Jeff and I yesterday were talking about how we love glass jars. I take my radishes when I get home and I pull all the greens off and I wash them, but I don't cut them, because when you cut a vegetable and leave it in the fridge, it's going to oxidize faster. So what I do is I just put it in this fun glass jar, so when I open my fridge to make a salad, I'm like, ooh, radishes. And I don't know about you guys, but I crave radishes. Something about a radish is just so delicious. Remember that you're eating the rainbow too, so you want to get all the colors. So the radish will give you the red. And you can also buy the Easter egg radishes, which are purple and white. But if you look at your salad and all you see is green, you're not going to get excited about that. You want to have a bunch of different colors in there. So I'm just going to cut these in half and then quarter them. If you're someone who feels like radishes are a little too like spicy, then cut them thinner, slice them super thin. But anyway, that's gonna go into my salad. I know you guys can't see behind the phone. So that's in. The next thing is some parsley, some kind of herb. Like we could put some basil in as well. I've got a couple basil leaves and some parsley, and you're gonna get that fun little bite, like, ooh, I just got a basil leaf. What was that? People say that to me all the time, like, what are those flavors? Because they're just used to just greens. So this is what I wish people would do when I go to a restaurant and order a salad, like get a little creative, you know? Next thing is a carrot, and this one's kind of a red carrot. It's not the typical orange. The ones that are in the bunches with the green still on them are gonna be a lot more vibrant, and they're gonna have a lot more nutrition than those big fat juicing carrots that have been sitting there forever and they're all cracked. And this is just a fun way. You can just use a peeler and just peel some carrot shreds and put that in your salad, and that looks really pretty. And I'm just doing about half the carrot so the strips aren't too long, and then that'll go into my bowl. For those guys on Facebook, there it is. Okay, and then the next thing is something else colorful, a bell pepper. Some people can't eat nightshades, and I kind of go off and on of eating peppers and not eating them, but when they're in season, I tend to eat them more. And when they're $5.99 a pound, I don't buy them, but when they're $1.99 or $2.99, I get them because that means they're more in season and they're cheaper. Cut off one strip and cut them whatever size you want. You can kind of julienne them. I don't really like julienne in my salad. I'll tell you why. You get a bite and it's so long and you're trying to chew on it and the rest of the salad's already in your mouth. So I like to cut it into little smaller pieces, like so. Make your salad making like a fun adventure, and think about how much nutrition and vibrancy you're getting into your body. The next ingredient, and one of the last ones, is a stalk of celery. I'm probably only going to use about a third. Not everybody loves celery as much as I do, but celery has natural sodium in it. It has electrolytes. It's so nutritious, and it adds that crunch that we're looking for, especially when we're eating raw. Sometimes we miss out on that crunch. So a little bit of celery in there. And then I also keep my avocados in a glass jar. Like I used half of one yesterday in our smoothie. So this is the other half. So then it keeps it fresher longer in the jar. I'm gonna just slice it thin, and I'm gonna add that to the top of my salad versus putting it in now. So it's sliced and ready to go. I sprouted my own alfalfa and clover sprouts in this fun jar. This is a half-gallon jar. You can get these at most hardware stores. This has been sprouting for about 5 to 6 days, and I rinsed them all yesterday and got all the hulls off. And now they're just so beautiful and perfect. And sprouts, especially for people that are vegan, are one of the most high protein foods that you can get. So they're just super yummy. I don't like to put too many in because they soak up all the dressing. So try and kind of spread them out and sprinkle them. You could also put these in smoothies, like yesterday, the one I made yesterday is a great way to use up your sprouts. Another one is fenugreek sprouts. I don't like to make them green. I just like to get little tails on them and just a little sprinkle because they can be a little bit bitter. But look at that. We've got so much nutrition in this salad now. And then the last thing I'll add in, probably I'll do it at the end, is some of the Natural Zing almonds. I already soaked and dehydrated these so they're really crunchy, and you can just sprinkle those on the top of your salad. That or pumpkin seeds, which I already sprouted and dehydrated as well and put back in the bag. I don't know if you can see that, but I wrote on there, dehydrated. So we're gonna set that aside, and now I'm gonna make my ranch dressing. Now this ranch dressing is a hit because most people that have tried it are like, whoa, like it becomes their favorite dressing. I have a gal here in Bend who puts it on everything, and she brings it everywhere, and she's like, I got the ranch, and her husband loves it. So make a note of this. You guys got recipes in your email. For those of you guys watching me Facebook Live, I'll just say all the ingredients if you want to write it down. So we're gonna start with cashews. Now, these are the Natural Zing cashews, and they're premium, so they're whole cashews, they're not pieces. You don't want to get the pieces, and here's why. When you get almonds or cashews or any nut that is already in pieces, especially in a bulk bin, you're getting 10 times as much bacteria on those things because of all the open sides. They're probably gonna go rancid much quicker. So if you can buy it already packaged from a company like Natural Zing, where it's got whole cashews, you're gonna get way less side effects or reactions from the nuts. For me with cashews, what normally happens is I get mucusy and I lose my voice. But I've learned how to not trick my body, but how to like overcome that, which is I soak them overnight in water and then I dehydrate them. And so I put a little apple cider vinegar in the water too, because that's kind of antibacterial. And that works for me. And then the cashews have a little bit of a vinegar flavor, which is super nice. And then I just put them back in the bag, and I wrote dehydrated on them. You can kind of hear that they're crunchy. And then that way that gets rid of any bacteria that might be on them. And that's just my way of doing them from long-term being a raw foodist and finding out cashews, in my, you know, if I eat too many, I react. So 1.5 cups of cashews going in. You could use macadamia nuts, or that's probably pretty much the only one. You could use pine nuts, but they're really expensive. Then 1 cup of water. It seems funny that we've got more nuts than water. I might need to add a little bit more, but we want it to be thick and creamy. The next ingredient is our lemon juice, or you could use apple cider vinegar. So it says 4 teaspoons of lemon juice, but honestly, I'm a lemon freak, so I put the whole lemon in, which is probably a couple tablespoons at least. Or you could use apple cider vinegar, which is about a tablespoon. So I'm gonna put it all in just because I know I'm gonna want more lemon. I love lemon. The next ingredient is some salt. We've got the natural zinc Himalayan pink salt, and I'm gonna use 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Seems like a lot, but your salad is pretty bland, right? And remember what I said yesterday, that salt has so many minerals, 82 minerals, and our bodies are so mineral deficient that salt is actually a good thing for us. We just don't wanna use that white iodized salt or even sea salt that's white. We wanna use some colorful salt like the pink Himalayan. Next ingredient is some onion powder, and I like onion powder over raw onion in this because I don't want that bite. I want it to be like smooth, like a real ranch dressing, something that kids would like. So this is 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And then I've also got garlic powder. Now you could use 1 clove of garlic if you want. I find that the garlic powder I like better because when I use raw garlic in my dressings now, I notice my tongue kind of gets, I can taste too much garlic on it. I'm getting picky in my age. So that's it. You could also add a little bit of this yummy biryani olive oil if you wanted to get a little extra fat. If you're keto, add like a 1/4 cup of olive oil to make it even richer, but you don't really need to. And that one's from Natural Zing as well. Let me make sure everybody can see my blender. I know you guys can on Zoom, and I think I can get part of the blender in the phone. So now we're gonna blend. We're not gonna add the herbs. If you guys have the recipe and you're following along, you'll see that there's dill, Italian seasoning, and basil. If I blended that in now, it would turn it green, and that would look like a green goddess. And I want it to be like a ranch with the flecks. So now I'm just gonna blend this until it's smooth. I'm listening for the rattle and I still hear it, so I'm going to turn it up again. Yeah, you want to just make sure, and I get this question a lot from my students, like, my cheese didn't turn out like yours. I'm like, did you blend it long enough? Just take it, do a dish while you're waiting for it to blend. And you will notice that I went up to high pretty quickly. Like, you don't need to keep it on low and baby it. Just get it up on high, get it blending. And then always be sure to turn it back down to low and to 0, because if you start your blender on high, it's very shocking. Okay, now I'm gonna add the Italian seasoning and the dill. So it's a teaspoon of dill, and this is just dried dill, but once my dill in my garden is growing, I'm gonna be putting fresh dill. You better believe I'm putting fresh dill in it, which would probably be like a tablespoon of chopped fresh dill. Italian seasoning, I have oregano in my garden right now, which I could use, but this is a teaspoon of dried Italian. It's just convenient, but of course, when you have fresh herbs, always go for that. With the basil, I am gonna use a fresh leaf, and I'm just gonna cut it with, this is called a chiffonade, just into like a thin ribbon. I rolled it up. And then you just really need like 1 or 2 basil leaves, and I'll throw that in. And then we'll just gently blend. We're not gonna go crazy with it. We just wanna kind of gently blend those herbs in. And that's good, that should be good. So now we've got this beautiful dressing. Ooh la la. I'm gonna pour it in this bottle. Keep your old dressing bottles, and if you can get the label off, great. Keep it in glass. I mean, you could store it in something like this, but this fits in your door of your fridge really easily, and it's way more appealing in a dressing bottle. So I like to hold on to my old dressing bottles. This is actually quite thick, And I know that as it sits in the fridge, it's gonna probably not come out of this jar. So what I'll do is add a little bit more water, but first I'll just coat my salad since it's, at the moment it's not too thick. I'll go ahead and coat this salad. So I don't know, everybody's different in the amount of dressing that they like. I'm kind of one of those people that loves a lot of dressing. So you're gonna go ahead and just put however much salad you want or dressing you want on your salad. And that's why I like this big bowl, because I can really get it fully coated. Everybody's different. Some people like to just drizzle their dressing on their salad as they go, but I like my salad tossed and looking really good. And what I love is when I put it back in this bowl, all the goodies that sank to the bottom will be on the top. So I can see like all the colors. This looks amazing. I mean, for me in my time zone, it's not even breakfast time for me yet, so I'll be holding on to this for later. But see how beautiful that looks when you just pile a huge salad in front of you. And we can do now our avocado. I'll use this metal spoon. I always like to use a metal spoon to get my avocado out because it looks a lot prettier when you scoop it out. I'm all about the visual appeal. So I'm gonna just lay that nicely. I don't know if you can see that. Some other salad toppers that are really fun. Natural Zing has nutritional yeast flakes. And for those people who are new to being plant-based or vegan and you miss your cheese, this is a super awesome cheese substitute. So you can sprinkle a little bit of this on top. I would just say don't do it every day for every meal. You want to kind of save nutritional yeast for a treat. But when you're new and you're like, I just need the flavor, this is going to really keep you staying on plant-based and like not missing your cheese. So go for it, which is what I did when I first started, but now I use it sparingly when I feel like I need a little extra. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll put some of our almonds on. And you could also do pumpkin seeds. I just love almonds though. Almonds are one of my superfoods. When I got my gut test, they're like, almonds are your superfood, so I'm happy with that. So then I guess I could, just for color, just put a little bit more carrot on top. And just to make that color pop. And this is like if you're serving a guest. If it's just for you, maybe you're not as, but you want, so if you're trying to get your family or your husband or your wife to start eating this way, you want them to be excited, right? And being in the kitchen, for those of you guys who are looking for a hobby, being in the kitchen and creating food is one of the most creative things you can do. Look at that. Yum! I wish it was lunchtime, but I'm not hungry. So anyway, back to you, Helen. Any questions?
Hey, Elena, this is Jeff.
Hi.
You can have a salad for breakfast.
Yeah, but I don't eat breakfast. But yeah, you can. If you are a breakfast person, this would be a great breakfast. You're right. All right, are you ready, Jeff? You're going to talk about some nutrition.
In the salad. The
Was-
purple cabbage, I love putting that in.
Yes. I actually was going to do that and then I forgot to buy it. Oops.
We get a lot of yellow and orange peppers too.
Yes, I try and buy the rainbow colors, just not the green, right? No green peppers.
Right. Yeah, I don't eat the green ones anymore.
The green gives people gas and so we don't like that.
We use a natural thing. We only sell whole nuts. I totally agree with what you said about the cashew pieces. We've had some people that make a cashew ice cream, and they always have people trying to sell them different cashews, but they've tried other people's cashews, and it just doesn't work. So you definitely need a high-quality product.
You know, I want to say...
like dressings and creamy things with cashews.
Exactly, and I'm pretty new to your products, Jeff, to Natural Zing's products, and I'm so excited that you sent me all these products to try out. But I am such a cashew snob, and your guys' cashews are amazing. Like when I open them, I'm like, oh, this is the kind of cashew that, yeah, so like what you said, they're not, you can tell they're not steamed, like they don't have that smell coming out of them. Quality, it's all about the quality of the nuts and seeds you're using for sure.
Yeah, and that goes with almonds too. Another topping that I have a friend that they put on salad is they'll put their protein powder right on the salad.
Oh.
They'll sprinkle it on there, or maybe spirulina.
Yeah, spirulina, it's good. So like the hemp protein, just sprinkle that right over your salad?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. And then yes, I love the spirulina on there for sure.
Yeah.
So if you're new to like spirulina on salad, and I'm sure you can attest to this, Jeff. We used to do all these retreats with David Wolf, and there'd be like sometimes 100 participants. And some, I got onto it, like the staff started eating spirulina in our salad, and we'd all be walking around with green lips. And like, it tastes like cheese. It's the best way I can describe it. It sounds weird, but then it kind of caught wind, and everybody's like asking for spirulina for their salads, and it just became everybody walking around with these green lips. And once you get on to spirulina on salad, it's absolutely delicious. Yeah. Thanks for that reminder.
We also we have a spirulina crispy. It's kind of like a bacon bit, but it's 100% spirulina, and that even tastes more for like, has that meaty kind of bacony flavor.
Yes, I've tried that. It is like bacon bits. Yeah, I love it.
My son used to just eat the spirulina crispies out of the bag. So we're always trying new things like dull seaweed, things that are salty. Kids tend to like.
They do.
The olives they like.
Yeah.
So we have used that. He used to eat those. Yeah, I'm wondering if you could mix you could do like a nutritional yeast and hemp protein mix maybe.
Yeah, that would be good. Maybe throw a little onion powder in there or something.
A little crushed nuts on there.
Yeah, that sounds good. So many ideas for salads. So don't think that salads are dull and boring. You can, like Jeff's saying, there's so many options that you can do. Even with a plant-based salad, you don't have to have meat on your salad. You can add other things to it.
Now, what I do also is I'll buy some raw fermented sauerkraut, and I'll just do a spoonful or two on a salad, and then I'm getting the probiotics.
Yes.
I don't do a lot of it. You don't want to eat a lot of it, but because I'll get special mixes of the raw sauerkraut. There's a lot in the stores around here.
Yeah, like
it's so easy to make it.
Yeah, like a tablespoon, and you can even smash it in with your avocado and use that as a dressing. Especially if you're traveling, it's a great salad dressing is avocado mashed with sauerkraut, and then you just stir that into your salad.
Sometimes I'll do berries like blackberries. I like to do the non-sweet berries. Once in a while, a raspberry.
Yeah, that's yummy. I love berries on salad.
So you're skipping breakfast these days?
Yeah, well, I like to do my green juice in the morning, and then I don't eat a meal till 12, 1 or 2, depending on the day, depending on if I've exercised. Yeah, that's just what works for me.
Is it intermittent fasting?
Yeah. I'm not hungry.
That's what I'm doing. I wake up and do a green drink.
Yeah, right? Are you hungry in the morning?
No.
Yeah, me neither. And I always figure if I'm not hungry, then my body doesn't want it. I know some people kind of say I have to eat breakfast because it's good for me, but I just follow my intuition.
Yeah, and I'll even exercise, and I don't find that I'm hungry. But I do like to eat within an hour or 2 of exercise.
Yes. Yeah. Afterwards, right?
Yeah, you got to have a good dressing. You got to have a couple go-to dressing options to make salads more fun.
Yeah, and these dressings, this one will last a week. So, you don't have to make dressing every day. And that's the thing I tell people, and I know you guys tell people this too. On Sunday, prepare a bunch of food for the week, your dressings, and maybe cut some of your veggies and put them in glass jars. And then you come home from work and you can just throw a bunch of stuff into a bowl. It doesn't have to be every day spending an hour in the kitchen.
Do you have lemon juice and apple cider vinegar in that one?
Just lemon. You could do either or.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're both good.
Yeah, that helps it to keep fresh longer.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in the presentation that everyone's going to get today, there is some salad ideas, and there's also some dressing bases and spices that you can use to make dressings easier.
Cool. So that's going out in the handout in the email?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're watching me on my Facebook Live, just go to email info@naturalzing.com, info@naturalzing.com, and tell them you want to be added to the 5-day challenge because it's just day 2, and then you'll get all the recipes and all the stuff.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
there's going to be a slide on that too for the Clean Food Tribe people in the Facebook group.
Awesome. Yeah. I can turn my Facebook around and show the screen. There we go. All right, and there's Jeff for everybody that wants to see who's talking. Awesome.
Okay, so we added a few slides on here. So you can sprinkle with protein powder, as just mentioned. You could throw some goji berries on there. As you saw, Elena mentioned the nutritional yeast, the crushed walnuts, the sauerkraut. You know, even throw fresh fruit, oranges, berries.
Yeah, whatever's in season. I always go with what's in season. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yes, fresh berries are great. This time of year, we're going to get a lot very soon. So strawberries, raspberries. We have a huge amount of black raspberries that grow on our property.
Oh,
so
lucky
we
you.
Harvest those and enjoy those.
Yeah.
Some salad dressing bases: olive oil, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, again, apple cider vinegar, Dijon mustard, wonderful creamy options like we made today. And you can add some spices in there: sea salt, pink salt, black pepper, chili powder, Italian seasoning. So anything that you want to add in there.
You know, I just want to quickly say about the Dijon mustard is that my friend Sarah, I got in her car the other day and she had Dijon mustard in her door, like the door of her car, and I just laughed. And she has it all the time and she uses it for salad dressing, and it's like her favorite go-to dressing. So yeah, that's a really great quick trick, especially when you're traveling. Bye everybody. See you tomorrow. Come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. if you're on West Coast time.